Jan, good afternoon to you. A very sad sight to see here. We've got a utility pole with a cross on it, and down below here you can see a couple of evergreen trees. That's because Kevin Jiang was an environmental grad student at Yale University. By all accounts, a wonderful young man. He, his wife, his fiance and his mother would go to church together, involved in their church. Everything seemed so good. Kevin Jiang's Facebook page biography was poignant. Life is a gift I am so thankful for.
So the Yale community is grieving right now. This is a loss of an extraordinary young man.
At approximately 8:30 p.m. on Saturday, officers responded after receiving numerous 911 calls of gunshots,
which occurred here in the area of Lawrence and Nickel Streets in New Haven. Kevin Jiang pronounced dead on scene.
His identity was confirmed to be a resident of West Haven, 26 years old, and he was a graduate student attending the Yale School of Environment.
Police won't say much about the case, including why Jiang, who had just proposed to his fiancée a week before he was killed, was in the East Rock neighborhood.
We have developed information suggesting that this incident may not have been an actual random act, and that he in fact was targeted.
Yale's president said the graduate student was committed to applying his talents to improving the world.
Kevin served in the U.S. Army, National Guard. He distributed food and cooked for a homeless shelter. He mentored youth.
Just an all-around great guy, it seemed to be. Kevin Jiang marks the 6th homicide already in just over a month in New Haven here in 2021. We're live in New Haven. I'm Tony Terzi, Fox 61 News.